Well, let's start, doggy. Let's
yeah.
fucking party. Let's rage, guys. I'm gonna mute
All
and
right.
rock. Let's go.
Wanna make that paper, wanna make that now. This is the affiliate marketing show. Wanna make that paper, wanna make that now. This is the
What's up, everybody? This is Josh coming to you with another episode of the Affiliate Marketing Show. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest affiliate marketing news, tips, and trends. Per usual, I'm Josh from OfferVault.com, the industry's largest aggregator of all things affiliate marketing. We also have Mr. Pay-Per-Call, Adam Young, as well as the industry legend, Harrison Gevirtz. And once again, it's just the boys hanging out today. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better after Harrison's introduction at the Mastermind we just did.
Oh, Josh, I used it. I introed Adam as Daddy Callbox.
No way. Wow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's great.
Yes. And Adam looked at me and just went.
What'd you
and
say?
I was like,
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Well, let's talk about the AffyExpo. For those of you that don't know, the AffyExpo was going on this week. It was an networking event, award ceremony for the industry's best. Adam and Harrison, I know you guys also did a pay-per-call mastermind. So can you just tell us a little bit about the expo, the awards ceremony, as well as the highlights of the mastermind that you did?
Sure. I would say that attendance was small at the show. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that they scheduled it on the first business day of open enrollment, which made it really hard for a lot of people to attend and be present. Like, open enrollment is the pay-per-call Super Bowl. So it was really hard. I tried to make it down there on the first day, but I literally couldn't because my first phone call was at 6 a.m. and I went till about 6 o'clock at night before I was able to leave my hotel room. On that note, though, we had a lot of amazing customers there. It's always great to see our customers. We're at a big dinner with like 26 people that were customers and partners. Shout out to all those amazing folks that came out to dinner. And then Harrison and I held a mastermind with our good friend and buddy Carlos Corona, and that mastermind went really well. It was
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. We all took the time to tell a lot of stories about how we actually accomplished certain things in the industry, how to think big. Harrison did a phenomenal job talking about his business development strategies and Ringba's business development strategies. Harrison absolutely crushed it, except for when he called me Daddy Callbucks in front of like
I actually would
people.
say I'd give my mastermind a 4, but I'd give my intro for you like a 16, so it kind of averages out high.
No, it was great. The whole crowd laughed, and it was a lot of fun. I was also impressed by the quality of attendee of our masterminds because everyone participated. Almost everyone stayed for the entire thing, and it was not short, Josh. It was like 2.5 hours of content. There were some really great questions, and people were very open-minded with my workshop exercise on personal growth and leadership growth. I won't talk specifics about how that exercise works because I'd like to use it again in the future. And once you know, it doesn't work anymore. But based on the reaction in the crowd, I think I really got to a lot of people in the audience with that exercise, and it was a lot of fun. And I think we'll see a substantial amount of personal growth and butterfly effect from that. So yeah, it was really cool. Those events are always super cool. And before I turn this over to Harrison to get his thoughts, at the end we announced the Ringba's Inner Circle and the events that we're going to be hosting here very soon. for those of you watching who can hear my voice in what sounds like a very cavernous, empty room, that's exactly where I am right now. I am in an incredible new venue that Harrison and I just acquired for our customers. We're going to be hosting all sorts of trainings, masterminds, advanced Ringba training, social events, CEO dinners, you name it, we're going to be hosting it, multiple events on a monthly basis in the new Ringba Mastermind headquarters right in downtown Miami. We are just super geeked about this project. We're going to be putting a podcast studio in here, an office, which includes extra desks for our team members to come down. And we're going to have, open office hours for our customers as well. And I'm just incredibly excited about what we're doing here, because Harrison and I are essentially going to immerse ourselves in nothing but Ringba and focus 100% of our efforts on growing the ecosystem, the industry, and helping our clients achieve as much as humanly possible. So
where can people sign up?
But yeah.
Where can people sign up to be on a list to get info about the events? Is there a link we can throw in the description of this video?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a link. It's just a simple form. And if you sign up to that form, we will send you information about exclusive swag. The people who sign up for the list can get absolutely free. We'll also be using that list to issue Miami Heat tickets for the new Ringba Suite at the Kaseya Center, which is just located right across the street. We were actually at a Heat game last night with a bunch of our clients. It was a lot of fun. We'll also be sending to that list information about social events, paid masterminds. We're going to host some parties here. We're going to be sending all that information to the Ringba Inner Circle list. So I'll drop you a link, Josh. We can put it in the comments. And you don't necessarily have to be a Ringba customer to sign up for that or even participate in some of these events. So please just go ahead and sign up if you want to learn more about pay-per-call and what Harrison and I are up to down here in Miami.
And for those of you who are listening or maybe don't have access to the comments, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, I just went back and found it. It's try.ringba.com. Is that correct?
No. That's not
/
that's not correct,
something.
Josh.
Hold on.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. So everyone just totally ignore that. Yeah, totally ignore that.
Jesus.
Or, yeah.
The pod's off to a great start today.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. try.ringba.com/inner-circle.
Yeah.
That is the link.
But we'll post
All right.
it. We'll
post it. Yes. Harrison, let's flip over to you here regarding the expo and the mastermind. Any key takeaways on your side of the table?
I would say I'm a little disappointed that Darren didn't award me best introduction for my intro at the mastermind. But no, the mastermind was really awesome. I could say that although it's a smaller event, when I looked, and I didn't see the rest of the attendees, but when I looked in the crowd at the mastermind, I saw a lot of high caliber people in our industry. So definitely some quality people at that show. And, I had a lot of fun speaking. I believe Adam did as well. And, we can provide value and teach people things that, based on lessons we've learned throughout our career. I think it's really meaningful and just a great thing to do. So a lot of fun. Affy Awards, Jeff Ross is awesome. So that was a lot of fun watching him just torch people. We got off pretty easy, honestly, Adam.
Yeah, we got off super easy. He didn't mock you at all. He didn't mock me at all. He essentially gave me a compliment on my suit, and he refused to mock Jenny. So I think someone warned him.
Jenny's unroastable. That was what he said. So congratulations, Jenny. You're unroastable.
That's a huge compliment from the roast king.
Jenny, and yeah. I was actually nervous. I was like, he's gonna rip me apart. And so he was like, "Do you want to say anything?" I was like, "Oh, well, fuck yeah." I had nothing to say because I'm like, I can't give this guy any ammunition.
Yeah,
I've already been roasted. I roast myself every day. So,
Well, he said so. They didn't give me a microphone, Josh, which is probably a good thing. But at the end of the day, I think everyone would have loved it if they did. I came prepared. But they didn't give me a microphone. And then he simply asked, so what is Ringba? Did you guys get high and just come up with that name? And We were like, I mean, basically. And and then he goes,
Nailed
but
it.
what is it? And all I said was call tracking, Jeff. And he was like, all right, that sounds a little creepy. I'm not gonna go there. And then he was just like, I don't know what to do with you, Harrison. And he looked at Jenny and was like, you are just completely unroastable. And yeah, I don't know what to do with you. And so like Darren said, what about him? And pointed to me. And he was just like, I don't. All right.
Yeah.
And so, which was pretty amazing because friend of the pod, Minerva Marketing, went on before us and he just shredded all 6 people that walked up on stage. It was absolutely hilarious. But for some reason, he wasn't really willing to mess with us. I don't know. Maybe it's my good looks. I have no idea.
Guns.
But
Yeah.
it's probably a good thing because I was going to thank Jeff for hosting the Affy Awards and then say that I was terribly sorry to hear about his career.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I mean,
Well-
if you stoop to the Affy Awards, dude, like you roasted Justin Bieber, dog. You're here at the.
He honestly he roasted himself. I saw in like a promo video he did for the event. He was kind of like, what does it come to? But yeah, he was a good sport about it.
Well,
You
that
know,
was the first thing he did when he walked on stage, Josh, is he was like, all right, I'm here with all you losers hosting the AffyExpo. What is this dumb shit?
He was like, let's celebrate affiliate marketing. Great.
So I know Ringba's got some multiple items in terms of exciting news going on right now. You know, you talk about in your mastermind how one of the key things you guys focus on is thinking big. I'm sure thinking big played a part in some of the cool stuff you guys are doing. So first I want to ask you about RingbaX, Ringba Exchange. Maybe you can tell me exactly what you guys are referring to it as, but what is it and how is it going to benefit, you know, your clients and you know, any users who are working with people that use Ringba?
Well, I would say that first and foremost, the RingbaX is definitely here to benefit our customers first and foremost. On the sell side, so customers of ours that are selling calls, you know, it exists to essentially assist our clients in selling calls that they otherwise wouldn't have nowhere to go. Like they're not going to go get sold, unsold calls. So, you know, to sum it up simply, you have a ring tree within Ringba on your campaign. You add RingbaX to your ring tree and you ping the exchange with the caller IDs and source info and other tag data that you have on that call into the exchange as you do your other buyers. And the exchange spits back a bid. If you want to sell it to RingbaX, great. If you have a buyer that's willing to pay you more, sell it to them. No problem. And the main kind of purpose we built this for is Adam and I years ago, we were talking and we realized that a huge percentage of calls that route through Ringba were and still do go nowhere. And it's not because of a technical problem or anything like that. It's because when you're dealing in calls, there's human capital required. Call centers need humans to answer the phone. So, you know, the idea is that we can assist our sell side clients in further monetizing calls that they would otherwise get $0 for. And then on the flip side of that, for our buy side clients, let's say they have a call center with 100 agents live at any given time. And let's say maybe one of their large supply side partners has some downtime and they have 40 agents that are sitting there doing nothing. They can come into the exchange and bid for calls on a real-time basis and get those calls to kind of fill that void. So it helps both sides of the equation within the pay per call space. We launched the beta about 3 months ago. Been working out kinks, adding verticals, and it's really starting to pick up now. And we continue to add new buyers and sellers. And Jenny Parrish, who is unroastable, is helping lead that initiative with me, and we're really starting to see some success on the RingbaX platform. So it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, Adam could attest to this. Like, we've had this in the works for almost 3 years. So to start it, get the wheel rolling, ball rolling, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty cool to see it progress. And I'm gonna let Adam talk for a sec because I got to switch to a RingbaX hat. This is just unacceptable. I gotta hold on. I'm pissed.
Adam,
Hold on.
Adam, I'm gonna pass it to you, but I'm just curious. Do all pay-per-call networks who use Ringba for their call tracking, do they get access to the exchange, or is it like an upsell that they have to pay extra for?
Great question. So they do not have to pay extra for this at all, though there is an onboarding and compliance process which has to be met. I would say confidently that in our industry, our onboarding and compliance process is
It's difficult.
it's the most restrictive. And the reason for that is we want everyone who's participating in the exchange to feel very comfortable about what's going on, and we're building it for the long term. So we have put a significant amount of effort into not only the onboarding process and the compliance process, but how exactly we are doing that workflow and how we are working with our customers to improve what their presence is, what their brand is, and what their compliance processes are. And so that's the neat thing about the X compliance process, Josh, is we have been able to use it to teach our customers how to do a better job as well. And there is no shortcut there. Like, no one can reach out to Harrison and Adam and get around these processes.
They've tried.
Yeah, they try. They reach out. They're like, bro, come on. You know who I am. You know I run good calls. And we're like, listen, we appreciate that. But the process is the process.
It's not about you or me. It's about the ecosystem and the fact that we have people buying and selling. We require these tough requirements are applied on both sides. And the agreement's the same on both sides too, because I'm sure some people listening have been involved in onboarding, and I've had people be like, hey, the agreement's a bit much or something. And I'm like, look, this is, an exchange. There's two sides to every transaction. And for us to fairly operate an exchange with two sides to the exchange, every transaction, we have to do that. And so, it is open to Ringba customers, but not every Ringba customer is necessarily going to be approved because of certain requirements we have, like insurance requirements and things like that maybe some people that are just not quite there on their business journey have implemented within their business yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing about this is that, first of all, for our customers, we have an entirely separate engineering team that works on X. And so we did not take resources away from Ringba. Ringba's team is still growing. In fact, we've almost doubled the size of that team in the last 18 months. And so we have not stopped investing in Ringba. We're not like distracted by X. We hired and brought on an entirely separate team that's working on that project. It's an entirely separate platform than the Ringba platform. And I mean, it's even a separate entity. And so the reason we did that is we wanted to make something where we could connect all of our clients and use Ringba's vast reach and pay-per-call to make it easier on everyone to do business together. And that ultimately is the fundamental goal that we have put in place here, because Ringba has thousands, many thousands of clients, tens of thousands of accounts. And it's very hard to introduce all of those people to everyone and foster a place where they can connect, because everyone does business a little bit differently. And so, to Harrison's point on the agreements, we've standardized everything, Josh, on the buy and the sell side. Ringba is essentially the arbiter of truth for the exchange. And so we don't really care if it's a buyer or a seller that may be causing an issue. Whoever's responsible is responsible. And at the end of the day, we want to create a fair playing field for everyone involved so that everyone can win. And so we put just a ton of effort into all of that. And it kind of goes back to the things we've learned over the years. Harrison made a really good point in his mastermind about how some companies don't even have IOs and they don't have great legal, but they might be incredible media buyers and they might be able to generate amazing consumer-initiated inbound calls, but they just don't have a legal department. So, like, how are they going to go work with Fortune 500 companies? How are they going to properly do all their IOs and their contracts and handle things like a dispute? And so this is essentially an engine that allows every company in our ecosystem to connect if they meet the minimum guidelines. And we handle all of the complicated things. We handle the real-time call trading, the data appends, the predictive routing across all the customers. We handle all the legal. We handle basically everything that is complicated for a company to deal with, because we've written software to automate the entire thing. And we use the same engineering methodology we do at Ringba. You know, at our core, we are an engineering company. We are a software development company. And so we've just extended our knowledge into X and have literally automated everything in a way that I don't think the industry has ever seen or built before. And we're still learning, obviously, and our team's working
It's
hard
getting
to
better.
refine that software.
It's getting better 1 week at a time. Like, I just got a Slack message 4 minutes ago with something they just released and updated, like a change we made that like 2 months ago we got on a call with the dev team and we're like, this needs to happen. And I was like, just saw it, was like, heck yeah. And just to touch on something you said, Adam, and I guess I forgot to mention this on the mastermind, when I mentioned that one person that told me they were approached by someone to do business with and they had no IO, no MSA, no nothing, no, not anything, whatever. That was us like 7 or 8 years ago, Adam. Like, I remember when we did it. And so I talked all this shit and I have to come clean. Like, we didn't always do it the right way too. So I just have to drop that out there because it's part of growing pains. You do it the handshake way and it happens, and then eventually you get kind of burned and you learn your lesson. And so when I emphasize that in the mastermind, it's like, yeah, it's going to help you, but it's going to help you get more business, whatever. It's also going to help you in terms of dispute if you do it. And so
yeah,
I'm not judging you if you have no
touch
terms.
on that, Harrison, I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I'm sure you've seen the legal bills for it, but I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. But
I have seen the legal bills.
Yeah, we collected a ton of IOs and a ton of contracts all across the industry from our customers that were willing to help. And we went back and we looked at our exchange agreements and all the legal we've done. We obviously have MSAs at this point for our large customers at Ringba. And at the beginning, we didn't have these, but we obviously do now. And we run a pretty sophisticated legal department now when it comes to contracting. But our amazing legal team that does all of the legal contracting work for Ringba has made what I call the perfect IO, which is a customizable legal document that is configurable, that our customers can use to do business directly with each other. And so we haven't released that quite yet. It's still being reviewed, but we've spent a great deal of money on that document, and we'll be releasing it to our ecosystem here shortly, so that companies that can't afford to do that kind of legal work, and I don't know the exact amount, we probably spent $25,000 or $35,000 on this. The companies that can't afford to do it or don't have the expertise or the legal counsel that has the expertise to do it, they can now use this package from us when it comes out. Obviously, use at your own risk, and you should have it reviewed by.
I was about to make a joke, Adam. I was going to say, now the lawyers are working on the agreement that you have to sign before we give you access to the agreement, so we can cover our ass. And you know what? That's a joke, but it's probably not a joke.
No. I actually have terms of service that go along with this before you download it. You will have to agree to the terms of service, which state that you'll use it at your own risk, of course. And you should get it reviewed if you have any questions by your own legal counsel. But I think this kind of thing is just something we've done a lot in the industry. We gave free landing pages. We did the free pay-per-call masterclass. We gave the free banner ads. We did, all sorts of materials and resources for people. And I think the legal one is just also something that's really needed out there so that people can transact with each other in kind of a more standardized way. And on the exchange side, something else that's really interesting, Josh, is a lot of big companies that want to buy a lot of calls do not want to deal with 50 different publishers. They don't want to deal with the contracting on that. And we have some big big customers in the insurance space that don't like referrals. They don't want more partners because it can take them 6, 8, 12 months to get a contract done. And that timeline is really hard on them. And so with X, our real-time bidding system seamlessly integrates into it, and then they only have to deal with one contract, and they can access the entire ecosystem without sort of worrying about having to do that. And so the beautiful thing behind this is the exchange will cut down the legal time for our customers and the integration time for our customers when working with really big companies. So instead of spending 6 months to a year doing legal and compliance, which you may or may not finish, you essentially can sign our seller agreement and then immediately gain access into some of the buyers that it could take you a year to get onboarded with. And so it's just a really exciting process. It's a really exciting thing for our ecosystem. And I said this when we announced it on stage at Contact.io. I gave the keynote, and I know in my heart that the exchange is literally going to create tens of billions of dollars in value for our ecosystem in the industry. And it's going to take some time, but that's what the data tells us. That's what we see. And I'm so incredibly excited to present that level of opportunity to our space.
So you guys drop RingbaX, and then you say, we're Ringba. This isn't enough. We got to go bigger. And you announce a partnership with Everflow. In my opinion, the new standard when it comes to general tracking in the industry. And I thought that was pretty awesome for both parties involved. You know, I'm sure Everflow feels the same way about you guys on the call tracking side of things. So I'm curious, what exactly is the partnership and what value add does it provide to the industry, to networks, to end users? How did that come to be? I'm also curious, were you guys did you guys ever consider we should do not call tracking? And then you were like, nah, let's just partner with one of the leaders who already has it down, or was it always kind of we just want to partner?
It's a funny question.
Well, let me take the beginning and then I'll hit Harrison with it. So shout out to Sam, the CEO of Everflow. He's awesome. And we've known Sam for years. I think that we've had lots of opportunities at Ringba to build all different kinds of software, Josh. And I will tell you right now that call tracking is 10 times harder engineering-wise than click tracking or lead tracking, for instance. And the reason is because you have a human on the phone, and the longer they sit on the phone, the more likely they are to hang up. So the speed at which you have to do your real-time bidding, your processing, all that stuff is just way more computationally intense than clicks. And so to say that Ringba couldn't build technology like that would be crazy. We could absolutely build click tracking or lead tracking technology, but we made the decision very early to focus on calls. And that's the reason we're entirely focused on calls, and we only build technology for calls, because where everyone else might be a screwdriver, Ringba is a power drill or a jackhammer, right? And we really want to focus our energy on our mission, which is calls and helping our clients grow their businesses. So obviously Everflow is the right fit on that front. They love their customers. They're a great team over there. In fact, they were at the dinner at the AffyExpo we just were at, and they're really a great group of folks. And one of the reasons we chose them to do this partnership is how much they also care about their clients. And so Ringba has been just hyper selective about who we will do public partnerships with, because we need our partners to care about our mutual customers as much as we do, or we aren't really willing to get into any kind of partnership with somebody, because we're a very customer first organization. So the way that partnership works is simple. We have much more seamless integration with them between Everflow and Ringba, and this allows an affiliate network that's using Everflow to host their offers to instantly add call offers into the platform. Their affiliates don't need access to another platform. They can still fire pixels and do all their tracking and track the clicks to landing pages and then track the calls. And so It's just a really beautiful partnership for Everflow and Ringba, but most importantly, all of our mutual customers that are driving traffic and adding value. So super excited about it. And we'll be probably hosting more partnership events with them. We've talked about doing some webinars and some masterminds. Actually, I think we just did a webinar with them. And so you're going to see a lot more from Everflow and Ringba on that front.
Harrison, anything to add, or was that pretty much it?
Well, you asked if we had ever considered, doing something else, and I'd say like 7-8 years ago, Adam and I talked about kind of doing every kind of tracking you can imagine. And then when we really started building Ringba, we realized that software is kind of hard.
Software is really hard.
Yeah, not kind of. And we shelved some things because we realized that this was we had to focus on one thing. We couldn't do the trifecta.
If you want to
cool.
be great at something, you can't do everything. And so there's a lot of other platforms out there that do a lot of things, not just one thing, and they do everything mediocre. Just the truth.
Yeah, Ringba and Everflow, the new industry tracking power couple. I love it. And I know a lot of our viewers who are in the pay-per-call space are gearing up for open enrollment right now. So I'm curious for both of you just to maybe touch on what that kind of means for the industry in terms of the call tracking, the pay-per-call space specifically. And, if there's any affiliates or publishers out there who are kind of getting ready for open enrollment the first time, maybe some things you would suggest they kind of focus their efforts on to really get the most out of it. Maybe they can bypass some mistakes you've seen other people make in the past.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is if you were trying to get allocation for open enrollment, you should have started 6 months ago.
Okay, cool.
I've had multiple people do the favorite thing, Adam, where they messaged. I got a message on Monday from someone like, "Hey, we're a customer. Can you introduce me to someone that can give me some cap?" And I was like, "Dog, I love you, but no." Like, firstly, no. Secondly, no. Like, even if I had the intro, they're not going to tell you yes. They're busy.
So for those of you watching, these tips will actually be for open enrollment 2024. But anyways, does it?
So look,
yeah, go ahead.
I'll touch on your question. So with the new Medicare regulations that are coming down the pipe, consumer initiated inbound calls are literally the future of the industry. So outbound dialing is fading, and you're seeing a lot more consumer initiated inbound call traffic. The numbers and the amount of calls that are flowing through our platform right now are absolutely nuts. We'll likely carry billions of dollars worth of phone calls during open enrollment this year. And the opportunity is likely the largest one in affiliate marketing. Maybe there are others this big, but for a single source campaign, I mean, I don't think it gets any bigger than Medicare pay per call. And so that's super exciting. And for those of you that missed the boat this year, that doesn't mean you can't get on the boat and gear up for it next year. Medicare calls do flow year round. There's just way more volume during open enrollment. We also have ACA open enrollment coming up here very soon, which is also super exciting. And that's just normal health insurance for non-Medicare qualified folks. And that industry is starting to boom right now too. And it's both verticals Super Bowls, but they do go year round. And I think it's just a massive opportunity for everyone involved. We know many people who are in the process of growing or scaling or opening their ACA or health insurance agencies so that they can take more inbound phone calls. And the Medicare providers are always expanding their infrastructure as well. And every consumer in the United States is mandated by law to have health insurance. So it's not like this industry is going anywhere. All we're going to see is more regulation pushing people away from outbound dialing and towards consumer initiated inbound. So if you're an affiliate and you're listening and you're looking for the biggest opportunity in the industry, or likely in the industry in your tenure in the industry, it's going to be consumer initiated inbound. And it's likely in the insurance verticals. So, yeah, just sick opportunity. This didn't exist when Harrison and I were running traffic back in the day.
No, did not.
Harrison, would you say like the open enrollment period is kind of like the Super Bowl of the time of year for Ringba? Like, does everybody have to be on their A game, or does it really not change things going on within the company?
Super Bowl squared, and starts with the open enrollment. Then you got AP2, so you have both of them kind of happening. They overlap. It's Adam can attest to it. A lot of prep work goes into this season. Essentially, all hands on deck.
By the way,
Yeah.
did you guys even mention that you won pay-per-call tracking platform at the expo?
Oh, no, that's not
Tracking.
accurate. We didn't win.
Tracking
Yeah, we
platform.
won industry tracking platform of the year.
Okay, well, congrats.
But-
Yeah, I think that
Thank
wasn't
you.
mentioned,
No, we
but
didn't
yeah.
mention it. I forgot
Yeah.
to mention, Josh, we won tracking platform of the year for 2023.
I think it's just like assumed. At this point, it's assumed that you guys
Adam, is the butt
yeah.
plug? I mean, the award. Do you have it? Look at the shape. I'm sorry.
No, Darren embraces it. Trust me, there's no shame in that. He knows. Yeah, that's awesome.
I have the award. It's upstairs. I also have my other Affy award for my personal award, and I have
You guys were there to accept
SaaS
it in
Platform of
person.
the Year award and the other tracking platform of the year award.
I think I won an
essentially-
Affy, and then I was like, dude, whatever, and I never even got it.
You're just using
You
them as
don't even have it?
paperweights.
No, I don't do awards. I'm just good. Fuck it. I'm just riding, dog.
Just the beginning of the award training.
I'd like
is
to
coming.
win a fitness-based Affy. I'm going to talk to Darren about this.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer there. Well, guys, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you for tuning into the Affiliate Marketing Show. Josh from OfferVault. Let's bring it back. Daddy Callbucks, Adam Young, as well as the industry legend Harrison Gevirtz. Let's make that paper. Let's make that dough. This was the Affiliate Marketing Show. We will see you next time.
Marketing